listeners. Welcome to another episode of Romance Unraveled. This is one of your co-hosts, Jacob Bozen.
And I'm your other co-host, Abigail Collings. And I'm so excited. We have my best friend on our pod today, Alysha. Alysha and I met during our first year of college back in the day. Did we say 2018?
Yeah, 2018.
So it's been a few years. We've been friends through a lot, and we've been roommates for the last year. So excited to hear from you today. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Alysha.
First of all, best year of my life living with Abigail. And every time you say best friend, I blush. I'm sure Jacob feels the same. So you can have multiple besties.
Right.
But a little about me. I'm born and raised in Utah. I love playing soccer. I have a dog named Tony, who's like my actual child. I love him so much. He's a Frenchie, and I'm just like obsessed. And I love CBS Survivor. Survivor's like probably half of my personality. I think anyone who talks with me will know that I love Survivor within the first like 30 minutes probably of meeting me. Like I've applied to the show a few times and I play in like live reality games stuff. So I'm a nerd about that. Other things about me. I mean, I'm currently single. Ew. I guess this is a romance show. Looking for love. It's not found in this story I'll share with you today.
Yeah, I'm so excited to hear about it. So what story are you sharing today?
So I am sharing what I call a hometown visit from hell. It is just, let's see, it happened. When did this happen? Like a year? Or, oh my gosh, I cannot
last
think.
Summer?
Yeah, last summer. It was last summer. I was dating this guy for like, I don't know. I think we started dating in like February, March.
Mm-hmm. Do we want to give him a fake name for today's purposes?
Yeah, what fake name? You pick the fake name. Abigail knows him.
No.
Let's call him John.
Okay, he's just a John Doe.
Okay, John. So me and John had been dating for like a minute, and he invited me to go visit his family in California. And I was like, sure, why not? Like I don't know, hometown, like meeting someone's family seems like a bigger deal when you have to fly to get there, you know?
Oh, for sure. So when you say a minute, what do you mean? Like how long?
Let's see. So it'd be like March, April, May, June. We were dating for like 4 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably like 4 months. And I told myself like, okay, if his family lived here, I would have already met them. Like he had already met my family and whatever. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's no big deal. We'll just like go meet his family. And John is a particular person. Like up to this point, the things I knew about his family were this. One, they do not like pets. They don't like animals in the house or really just in their vicinity. And I knew John is like a little OCD about things because his room and like all this stuff is very like clean, very orderly, very put together. And that's not a problem. Like none of these things are the animal thing's just not my vibe. Like to me, it's a red flag if someone doesn't like dogs.
Right, Jacob. We're talking to you.
Well,
I would be fine if they were all exterminated, to tell you the truth. But let's keep going.
Wait, speechless.
Okay, so you know that they.
How are you two friends?
We somehow make it work.
I just don't pay attention to her dog. Like I just don't. I just pretend he's not even there.
Poor Pablo. He just wants love, but
okay, that is so sad. Okay, so that's kind of how I felt with John and Tony. My dog's name is Tony. Like anytime the three of us were together, he just had to like pretend he wasn't there, kind of. And it's like whatever if you guys are friends, but imagine that in a romantic relationship. Like it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard. Yeah. So there was a lot of unnecessary tension around the dog thing. But anyway, whatever. So I was interested to learn about John's family and what made him, you know?
Yeah.
And it started all clicking the second I stepped foot in their house because the carpets are white carpets. And I was like, okay, I can see where the OCD could come from. And the no pets and like all this stuff, the shoe, like everything's very clean, like no shoes in the house. And his parents like are so sweet and very accommodating. And they like show me to my room, and it's like this nice, beautiful bed with silk pillowcase and silk sheets. I'm sorry, you can hear my dog snoring. Can you hear that, Jacob?
No, I can't.
Okay, it's so cute. Um, anyway, and she shows me the bathroom and she's like, okay, here's your towel and like your washcloth and stuff. She's like, I get a clean towel every single day, so don't feel the need to like use this towel. You can just, she gives me like a stack of 5 towels. She's like, here, you can use this the whole time you're here. And I was like, okay, wow, like a clean new towel every single day. Like this is gonna be interesting. Um, anyway, so we're just in for a trip when night one hits. Cause like you kind of have to get comfortable and get to know everyone. And but then like as the day's kind of winding down, John was just like being so weird with me around his family. Like I feel like he wasn't super open, like wasn't very talkative. He was being more reserved. And I could like make friends with a brick wall and have a conversation for a full day if I need to. Like I'm really easy to talk to. But I was just like, something is so weird. So I can't remember if this was night one or night two, but he was like, hey, I need to tell you something. And I'm like, okay, what's up? Like, no one likes hearing that in a relationship. But the man proceeds to tell me that he had been talking to an ex for like a week.
No.
Yes. Yes. And I'm like, okay, awesome. And before we got to California, he had told me that they were talking for like a day or two, that they had like exchanged text messages and stuff and talked. He would never show them to me or say what they really talked about. But I was just like obviously pissed. And I'm like, if this happens again, like I'm done. I'm literally done. Like I am a divorced girl. I've been through a long-term relationship after my divorce. Like I am not one to just mess around with, you know?
For
And
sure.
so, but I am very forgiving. That's like one of my weaknesses, but also my strengths in a relationship. Anyway, so he was like, hey, we need to chat. He was like, so I know I told you that we had talked, but we had actually been talking for like a full week. And I was like, okay, like obviously pissed. I'm like, I'm in California now for 5 days and you're telling me this now? Like, it just felt so, I don't know what the word is. Like, you couldn't tell me when it happened or like before we left.
Right.
Now you like have me hostage in another state. Like, how did
Exactly.
he expect me to react, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the plot thickens when he finally reveals to me who this ex is. And he like has a solid group of friends. A lot of them are like girlfriends, which is fine. But come to find out, like a few of the sisters or like the girls that he hangs out with are sisters. And the ex is one of their sisters. Like I had never met her. She doesn't hang out with them anymore. But he's like so tight with their family, like their whole family, you know? So I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, not only were you talking to an ex for like a week, but now I found out that some of your best friends are literally her siblings, like her sister. And I was just like so shook because I was like, I had issues with this whole dynamic beforehand anyway. So I was like, John, it's literally me or them. Like, you can choose to continue to hang out with them and have this like weird relationship with her sisters and her, or you need to like choose me and just be real with me, like be honest with me, you know? And in my head, what I was thinking was like, if you have such a boner for everyone in this family, go ahead and marry one of the sisters then. Like, if she wasn't the one for you, you're clearly hanging out with like the other ones, just pick another one. Like,
And I'm surprised that they would be okay with this. Like, that's weird
The
to me.
sisters, yeah.
I know. It's very strange. And the sisters like don't know, I think, a ton behind their dynamic, like their relationship dynamic. Anyway, it's weird. I can't even try to explain it, and I think that's what's hard about weird stories or situations like this. It's like you can't make sense of something or a situation that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? But it's hard when you care about people and feelings are involved and whatever. I don't know. I think it's not that hard though. when you're in a relationship and someone's like, "Hey, this is my boundary or this is what I need." And it's just okay. Anyway,
it's not that hard to just give someone what they need and stick to those boundaries.
yeah, not that hard. But anyway, yeah, he just has this like tight obsession and love with this family, which is fine, but it can't like precede his love for me if we are going to continue a romantic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just speechless. Like I literally didn't know how to respond. I was just like, wow. But in my head, I'm like, do I break up with him day one of this 5-day trip in another state and I'm here with his family? Like, do I fly home? Like, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, hey, thank you for telling me. I can imagine how like uncomfortable you feel. You could probably imagine how uncomfortable I feel. Like, let's just give this a shot and like enjoy the rest of the week. And we'll talk about this more later.
Yeah.
But like, thanks for telling me.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, no problem. You're so great and so sweet and understanding. And I'm like, I know. So I decide to not like end things and just like wait out the trip and see how it goes, whatever. So then day 2, I think it's day 2 at this point. It was either day 2 or 3, but we spent the day with his sister and her husband, who I like love and adore. They're so much fun. Like me and his sister really, really vibed. And that's what made me so sad at the end of the trip. I was like, ugh, and the end of the relationship, you know, when you just hurt the family. Like, have you guys felt that way in a relationship?
Of course. It affects more than just you and the person involved. Like anyone that knows you and anyone that's close to you also is affected in some way.
Yeah. It's just like, dang. Now I would have to break up with his sister, who I was like totally vibing with. Anyway, so that day, me and her husband and John go to like the beach and we like go have lunch and do this whole day together. And they are talking about this trip to Hawaii that their family's going on. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to give you guys some recommendations like when you go, because they are going to Oahu and I had been there for like a summer. So I was like, I'll send you some of my favorite restaurants that I found and blah, 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 blah. And his sister was like, girl, you're talking like you're not coming. Like you're coming on this trip, right? And this was the first time I had really been told about this trip. He had mentioned it to me before, like we went to his family's place, but it was pretty clear that like I wasn't invited in his eyes. But his sister was like, no, you're invited. Like you're coming, right? And we're in the car, like the 4 of us. And I like kind of look over at John and I'm like, well, no, like I'm not invited. Like he hasn't invited me. And he's like looking out the window, like not even.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Like
awkward.
pretending to. And she was like, no, you're invited. And I was like, okay, like that conversation hasn't been said, but I appreciate it. And she was just like, yeah, you're coming. Like she was hell bent.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Like, ugh, so awkward. So awkward. And why would he not say anything?
Yeah. Not like, oh yeah, you should come, or can you? Or, oh yeah, I didn't mention it yet. He's just staring out the window silent.
Mm-hmm.
That is psycho.
Yeah. Like, would not make eye contact with me. Was just like so awkward. So awkward. And it wouldn't even, it would be nice if it was just like, oh, sister, like you're so sweet for inviting her. But like, if he could just be like, oh, I haven't had this chat with her yet. Like,
yeah, literally acknowledge anything.
Yeah, just acknowledge it and not like leave me hanging.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Very weird.
So talking back on this, I'm like, that was so freaking weird.
It's like making you angry again.
Well, it's just making me like, just SMH.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, but we just like let it slide, whatever, like don't talk about it. But the rest of the trip, his family just like was so nice and they like were so kind towards me and like loved having me around. They had nothing but like high praises to say. And I met like his grandma and she was so cute. Yeah, she was so cute and she loved me. She's just this like adorable, saucy, sassy Black woman who I just like loved. And she like has the hair and the nails and the makeup. Like she's just so cool. And she would call me Blondie or Barbie or something. And as we were talking,
at this point, like you're meeting all the family, you're doing everything, and you said that you were going to talk to him when you get back home. In your head, were you already decided that this was a done deal, that you were going to break up with him when you got back?
That's a good question. It's hard to think back to where my head was, because I think I was just trying to survive the week and just take it day by day, because I was so like shell shocked day one. And my gut was like, yeah, this is not good. And like the rest of the trip, like things like this that would keep happening, my gut was just like very unsettled. And so I think in my head, I was like, I know I kind of have an idea where this is going. But because we hadn't had the chance to like really flush out it all, I was like maybe still open to hearing like his side of the story or what's going on. So I just kind of had to be like undecided and pretend things didn't happen so I could survive the week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah, back to the grandma now.
Anyway, so she was so cute, and every time like we would talk about business and like my podcast and um just like my job and ambitions that I have and stuff. And she would look over at John and be like, she's a woman. Like, this is a woman. Like, she is so cool. She is so smart. Like, listen to her. Listen to her. Like,
oh my God.
She was just hyping me so hard. She's so sweet. Like, oh, she was so cute. And so my heart is just like shattering. And his sister was hanging out with us during that time too. And she was like, I almost keep saying his name, but she was like, John has never been this way around someone. Like, you can tell that he is so calm and he's so confident. And like, he is never okay with like leaving his girl unattended with our family. And John would just be in like another room playing with his nieces and nephews or going and doing something and just letting me hang out with them. And so she was like, I just hope he does not fumble this. Like, he does not fumble this because he overthinks a lot. And bless his heart, like I get that. We can all overthink at times, but for some people it's more like destructive than others.
Yeah, definitely.
But she was like, we just love you, and I hope he can just put his mind at ease and just like let it be. Oh, and we talk about the pets thing a lot too.
Yeah.
Because she is not a pet girl given her upbringing with her mom, but her husband and kids love pets and they love cats. So they have some cats and they have like pets. And so she was like, he just needs to get over this thing and not let it ruin the relationship. Like, this is so dumb. I'm like, I know. It literally is so dumb, Jacob. And just kidding.
I have a reason. I have a reason that's another episode.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I have like several reasons why I hate dogs, but there's like a reason that's I probably will tell as a story one day on here.
Oh, wow.
And
Well,
you know what?
need to
I
hear this.
really don't like them.
Why? Okay, yeah. No, another episode, another time. I don't understand though.
Yeah, it's hard to understand.
Unless you were personally like attacked and injured. Like,
okay, but anyway.
Anyway, so whatever. So the trip is like winding down, just like having a good time. Oh, and I can't remember when I've like heard this saying, but I'm sure y'all have seen it on like Instagram as a quote or whatever. It's like trying to decipher if you're having fun on a date or if you're having fun with them or if you are just a fun person.
Yeah.
And that's like how I felt the whole trip, because everyone's like, this is so fun. You're so much fun. Like, we're having such a good time. But then I was kind of like, no, I am a good time. Like, I am fun. Like, I am easy to be around and easy to talk with. And I just like make things fun. So yeah, like we are having fun because I'm fun. Anyway, so the kicker, this to me, Jacob, was the nail in the MFing coffin for me. So it's like the last full day. So we would be leaving the next afternoon. I think. Anyway, doesn't matter. But we went paddleboarding with his family, and he and I just like go out on a paddleboard together. I was like, do you want to each go on one or go? He's like, no, let's just go together. I'm like, okay. And I also love the water and I'm like adventurous that way and want to like jump in and swim and da 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 da. But he's not as much that way. So we go out on the paddleboard or just like trying to have a good time. But then things get a little more serious and it's like, okay, so how has this family trip really been? And this is when the boxing gloves like come out. And it's like, so I was just like, well, it's been informative. Like, it's been very interesting to me. I could see why you are the way you are. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, first of all, like I could see where your OCD tendencies come from. I could see why you don't like animals because of how you were raised and how they're talked about and whatever. Um, and his family is very passive with each other. They're not like, well, his mom is very straight up. She's very, very straight up. But it's all kind of in this like passive aggressive way sometimes, I think, with one another. And just him as a person, he like walks on eggshells a little bit more, I think, because he is a more anxious, like peacemaker. Like he wants everything to be good and everything to be calm, but inside he has deep feelings. He just doesn't want to like, he's not very straight up with them.
He's not going to make waves over how he feels.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, so I was like, I could see why you're kind of like this and like that. And then the Hawaii thing comes up. Or was it the dog thing first? Oh, I think it was the dog thing. I can't even remember all of the details to this conversation, but it basically, like, as you can tell, as I'm telling a story, I'm a passionate person in how I talk. And I'm not like, I don't yell, but I can talk like loud. And I would never like yell at someone unless it was like my siblings or someone, I don't know, whatever, but not in a romantic relationship. So I think I was getting a little bit passionate and he's getting a little more heated than I've seen before. But a lot of it at the beginning revolved around pets. And I'm like, I do not understand what your beef is with Tony. Like, my dog is so well behaved. Like, anyone that meets him loves him. Like, he's so cute. He's so happy. He's so this, and that. But you just constantly choose to, like, make it a problem. And it came out that John feels this way. Jacob, you can tell me if you feel this way.
Okay.
But he's like, I'm just so worried that you will always choose your dog over me. And he's like, that's how I feel in this relationship, is that you choose your dog over me. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, exactly. Like, I didn't say that. I said, like, I'm choosing myself. Like, this is my lifestyle. And I've had Tony in my life before you ever set foot in my life. And I'm perfectly happy. And then you come in my life and all of a sudden my lifestyle is like a problem and an annoyance and an inconvenience to you. So like, it's not choosing my dog over you, John. It's choosing me and my lifestyle.
Right.
Do you ever feel that way, Jacob?
So my particular story, it kind of is related to that, but I came first. But my hatred for dogs, I'll tell you really quick.
Okay.
I worked on political campaigns in Utah, and when you start on campaigns, you have to go door to door.
Yeah.
And so every time I would knock on the door, ring the doorbell, here comes the dogs. Here comes the dogs. People that don't know how to take care of their dogs or train their dogs. And I just slowly grew to hate them. Like I don't want anything to do with them anymore.
No, I get that makes sense, especially like in a door-to-door experience. So your problem's more with people who can't train their dogs. Because the dogs.
I think it's both. I think it's both.
But it makes sense. Like I understand. And he kind of felt that way too, like the jumping and the slobber and it's like I get that. Like just because I love dogs, it doesn't mean I love drool and hair and a dog jumping on me every 2 seconds. Like I do not enjoy that. But anyway, you're valid. So anyway, so we just like argued about that for a little bit and I was like, dude, and it was, well, let's say Alysha, like 10 years down the road and Tony's dead, you're going to want to get another dog. And I'm like, yes, probably. Like, and that was such a big deal for him. Like we needed to decide when Tony dies. And I'm like, why are you even thinking like that? First of all,
well, to me, it's like, he's saying I can deal with this for the next few years. Like I can make do as long as Tony's around. But then once he dies, then I'm free of this lifestyle and we don't have to do it anymore.
Yes. And I'm like, no, because I grew up around animals and I know my kids, like every kid is like, I want a pet. Like I want this, not. And I'm going to be like, absolutely. Yes. Also, why are you obsessed with Tony being dead? Like, it's like, say we were to get married. Is he going to poison my dog?
Oh my gosh.
He's like, well, you said when Tony dies.
Oh,
I'm kidding. Anyway, so the conversation's just so heated. I'm literally crying because he's making me feel like trash for having my dog and that it's so inconvenient and such a problem. And that was so hard for me because it's something something that brings me so much joy that I like love so much.
Yeah.
So we were just like going in circles, and I'm like, okay, like, can we talk about this Hawaii thing? Like, why was that so awkward? And then he was like, well, here's my thing. Like, I didn't invite you because it's going to cost thousands of dollars to have you come. And if things are going to continue progressing the way that they are, I would just rather spend that on a wedding ring for you.
Which is crazy, because I can never get over this detail, because they've been dating for a few months, but they were not at a point where they had said "I love you" to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
And
my
this man is
God.
saying, well, I didn't want to invite you to Hawaii because I want to buy you a wedding ring.
Also, this same man told me 3 days ago that he had been talking to an ex for a week.
Yeah, like,
and you're wanting to buy me a wedding ring? Like, what? I just wanted to, someone tie an anchor to my ankle and I'll fall into the lake right now. Like, this is not happening. Like, goodbye. I want to disappear in the water. And I'm trapped on an MFing paddleboard in the middle of a lake.
no.
Anyway, I'm just like, what? Like, I was so shook. And I was just like, what are you talking about?
This makes no sense at all.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, bro, like, this man is driven by so much anxiety. So in his head, he's thinking like 1,000 steps ahead to like protect all these things that could go wrong, right? So it's like, well, I'd rather just save this money because I really like her. But it's like, to even get to that point where you want to marry someone, like, I would want to go on family trips and I would want to get to know each other and travel together and like see what that's like. So like, dude, it's not that deep. Like, what?
No, seriously. Like you said before, and knowing him myself, this man is a thinker. But to the extent, like you're saying, he's thinking 1,000 steps ahead, so much to the point he's missing all of the steps that are right in front of him. Like, his inability to be present completely screwed him over because he's thinking way too far ahead.
And there are so many, like, I doubt he'll ever listen to this. There's so many wonderful and beautiful things about this person. Like, there was a reason I wanted to go meet his family. And there's so many qualities that he has that is beautiful. Like, he's so great in so many ways. Like, we laughed and we'd have such deep, like, conversations. But then there was just, our trust was severely broken and hurt. But he, like, wouldn't see it that way. And anyway, he just let anxiety get the best of him in every way. But it was just so, I was just like, John, we're not doing this right now. Like, we cannot have this conversation because we haven't even discussed everything that has happened with your ex and like her family and your friends and how this is so bass backwards right now. Like, we have so many problems to fix, and now you're bringing up buying a wedding ring.
No way.
Yeah. And I just remember this conversation. Meanwhile, I'm still crying. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know what to do. And he's just like, just like, don't break up with me. Don't break up with me. Like, are you breaking up with me? Do you want to break up with me? And I'm like, no, I'm not breaking up with you right now. Like, we have to fly home together tomorrow. Let's just like take a breather and whatever. Like, it's fine. I'm glad we got a lot of this out in the air. Let's just paddle on back and figure this out. And I'm just like, the whole ride back, I'm like, okay, I gotta pull this together, like pull it together, whatever. So we get back and like, it's whatever, the trip is fine. His family, when we're ending, they were like, we just like adore you so much. Like, thank you so much for coming. Like, you have such a beautiful soul. And I'm just like, thank you guys. Like, thank you so much. I had such a good time. And then when I was leaving, his mom was like, okay, take care of him for me. And I was like, I will. Like, I was like, I will, but you're going to need to call him in a week. Like, the man is not going to be okay. We had some good, honest conversations when we got home, and things were like, okay. But anyway, long story short, I think we stayed together for a minute. And then I went to Maine, like, on this trip for a Survivor thing. And then I came back and we went on like a little camping trip with my family, and things were like going so good. And then a day after the camping trip, he told me that he had reached out to his ex again and like
Oh my
didn't
gosh,
tell
what a
me
psycho.
until, yes,
No, he has a problem.
Mm-hmm. We came back, we worked it out for a little, and then I was gone for a week on this trip. And then I came back. We went on a trip with my family. So it was probably 10, like 20 days after the California trip that we ended up breaking up. But it just like he repeated the exact same pattern of like reaching out to her, but not telling me until after the fact and not considering my feelings. And the man deleted all of the messages.
Ew.
And not just like deleted, but deleted. Like,
Right.
because you know how you can recover it, Jacob, from the deleted file or whatever?
On your phone?
Yes,
Oh,
I
I didn't
learned
know that.
this.
Okay.
Oh, Jacob, I'm the one who taught Alysha this. I will have to teach you too. You can see someone's deleted text messages. So this man had not only deleted their messages, but then deleted it from recently deleted texts.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know you could. Okay. Well, I
Yeah,
learned
so listen
something
up, all you listeners. If someone deletes texts, but then again, like the ones who have something to hide probably know how to delete it from the deleted. So if they do that, it's kind of shady, like kind of fishy.
Oh, definitely.
Because it's like, yeah, oh my gosh. Like, what do you have to hide?
Mhm.
What do you have to hide? Anyway, so that's basically the story.
That's the hometown visit from hell.
Yeah, it was a rough visit.
Did he have a
Rough
meltdown
time.
when you broke up with him?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, did
Oh,
he?
did he?
That's a part two. That is a part two, sister.
You actually very much so should come back and tell the part two because he unraveled further for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And also
Ooh.
I did not help the situation sometimes because we did like spending time together and we did like making out with each other. And so I was like we would just like make out sometimes and watch a movie or laugh and catch up. So I was also at fault,
Sure,
but
there were some dynamics involved,
yes.
but nothing justifies some of that behavior, okay?
No, nothing. So this hometown visit was just a teaser for like the train wreck that was the rest of the relationship.
Yeah, maybe we'll have you back on then to tell the part two.
Yeah. Lessons were learned, Jacob. Lessons were learned.
Yeah. Great.
Anyway, that was the story. And like thoughts, comments, concerns, compliments, anything?
I mean, I would have cut him the first time he started talking to, well, maybe the second time actually he started talking to the ex.
The fact
I,
that it was 3 times.
3 times is
right.
insane.
He would have
Insane.
been gone the second time for me.
Yeah. So, okay, what would you have done in California? He tells you this day one of a 5-day trip. What do you do?
I would have stayed as well, and I would have taken complete advantage of the whole thing. I would have been living like a
You
king.
should.
I love it.
As you should.
Yeah.
And then you would have just, when you get home, just end it then?
Probably on the plane ride back. We'd sit down and I'd
On
look
the
over and
plane,
say,
not
we're
wasting any
done.
time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I respect that. I need to harness that. Well, that's more of who I am now. I roll that way a little bit more.
Yeah.
Great.
I have this alter ego that's called NFA. It stands for No F's Alysha. And it's just like I can't life is too short and our time is too valuable to care way too much what other people think. And especially like at the expense of our own well-being or our own feelings. It's like we cannot be saving feelings here or wasting time.
No.
You know?
Absolutely
Okay.
not.
Yeah. Well, it was nice having you on. Like I said, we'll probably do part two because I'm interested to hear what his reaction was.
Okay, we could do a part two.
Yeah. But for the listeners, as always, make sure you subscribe and save. Rate us. We expect nothing less than 5 stars. And follow us on social media. It's Romance Unraveled on Instagram and Facebook. Until next time.
Bye.
Thank you. See ya.